You aren't exhausted because you didn't sleep. You're exhausted because you're winning a race you never signed up for. You don't wake up to a new day. You wake up to a debt. A scrolling, digital spreadsheet of problems you're obligated to solve before the sun goes down. Every breath feels like an interest payment. Every morning feels like a deadline for a project you don't even remember starting. We are told to live for the future, for the success, for the payoff that is always, conveniently, just one more year away. But you've done the math. You've seen behind the curtain. And you realize you're playing a game where the house always wins. If every penny you earn is eventually taken and every person you love is eventually lost, then what are we actually doing here? There is a quiet, dangerous question sitting in the back of your head. A question you aren't supposed to ask out loud. You look at the tragedy, the betrayal, and the endless loop of human suffering, and you think, is this it? Is the whole board controlled by nothing but entropy and pain? It feels like a rational conclusion. The math seems to add up. But I'm here to tell you, your math is wrong. Not because the pain isn't real, but because you've been trained to ignore the only thing that actually matters. It's time to stop wrestling with phantoms. It's time to ask the ultimate question. Why live? This is the psychology of the ultimate question. Why live? When you ask the world why you should keep going, society hands you a brochure of cliché answers. And if you are analytical, if you see the world clearly, you tear right through them. They tell you to live for success, to get rich. But what is the point of accumulating chips in a casino that is guaranteed to burn down? Money isn't guaranteed, and even if you get it, you are renting it. You will lose every single penny the second your heart stops beating. So they tell you to live for love, for family. But you've seen behind that curtain too. You've seen families turn on each other, creating a living hell under their own roofs. And even if the love is pure, it is a hostage situation with time. You will lose them, or they will lose you. One way or another, the ending is already written. So you look at the board, and you realize you are playing a game where losing is the only mathematical certainty. More stress, more mistakes, losing on both sides. I want to tell you about a man. He wasn't ambitious in the way the world demands. He didn't want a mansion, he didn't want a yacht, and he didn't want to be remembered in the history books. He believed he was a simple man. All he wanted was the bare minimum. A quiet life, a steady income, a small sliver of peace. He asked for the things that everyone else walking down the street seemed to be issued at birth. But every time he reached for it, the world pulled it away. It felt virtually impossible. He was drowning in a foot of water while everyone else seemed to be breathing fine. He had no peace, not at work, not at home, not in his own mind. Everywhere he went, the pressure followed him. The pressure to fix everything before the clock ran out. He sat in his car one evening, staring at the steering wheel, and he thought, I just want it to end. I just want to hit stop. When you reach this point, your vision begins to tunnel. You look out at the world, and all you see is tragedy. You see the corruption, the betrayal, the endless loop of human suffering. You ask yourself, is there nothing good left? Is the whole board controlled by entropy and pain? It feels like a completely rational conclusion. The math adds up. Life is a series of problems, punctuated by brief moments of distraction, ending in a total loss. But the math is wrong. Not because the pain isn't real. The pain is agonizingly real. The math is wrong because your brain is running a faulty algorithm. Why do we only see the tragedy? Why does the bad feel so overwhelming? Because the good is the default. There is so much good in the world, so much baseline, functioning peace, that we have ceased to see it. It has become invisible. Think about it. You only notice your stomach when it hurts. You only notice your car's engine when it makes a strange noise. You only notice the air in the room when it starts running out. When we encounter an evil event or a sudden crisis, we are triggered. It shocks the nervous system because it is tearing us away from our natural state. We focus entirely on the anomaly. We obsess over the flat tire, completely ignoring the fact that gravity held the car to the earth, the sun rose on time, and our lungs effortlessly pulled oxygen from the atmosphere 10,000 times that day. The silence in the room isn't emptiness, it is peace. Back to the man in the car. He was sitting there, gripped by the terror that his life was nothing but an unbroken chain of suffering. But as he sat there, nothing attacked him. The rain hit the windshield. The heater blew warm air onto his freezing hands. His heart beat rhythmically in his chest without him having to ask it to. In that exact moment, he wasn't solving a problem. He wasn't losing a loved one. He wasn't failing. He was just sitting. Think about the last time you were violently ill, lying in bed, burning with a fever. In that moment, you made a silent deal with the universe. You thought, if I can just breathe through my nose again, if I can just walk to the kitchen without the room spinning, I will never complain about anything ever again. And then you got better. And within 3 days, you completely forgot the absolute miracle of a functioning body. You went right back to complaining about the traffic. The man in the car realized he was sitting inside an answered prayer, and he was calling it a prison. He had spent his entire life waiting for a booming voice or a winning lottery ticket to announce that a good moment had arrived. He didn't realize that every single moment that was not bad was inherently good. He already had the bare minimum. He was just refusing to look at it. How do you survive the weight of tomorrow? You stop trying to solve the future. The future doesn't exist yet. It is a phantom you are wrestling in your mind, and it will win every time because it has infinite ammunition. Let's be clear. Shifting your gaze from the tragedy to the baseline is not some toxic positivity trick. It is an act of rebellion. Your brain was not designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. And the best way to keep an animal alive is to make it constantly paranoid, constantly scanning for the next threat. So when you feel that dread, when you feel that crushing pressure that everything is a problem, that is just your biology running its ancient software. But you are not just an animal trying to survive the winter anymore. You must force your eyes to adjust to the light. You have trained yourself for years to scan the horizon for threats. Now, you have to train yourself to scan the room for miracles. And that is surprisingly easy to do. The coffee in your mug, the fact that the lights turned on when you flipped the switch, the stranger who held the door, the moment of quiet before the house wakes up. These are not distractions from the misery. These are the main event. The misery is the distraction. You ask why you should live, because you think the goal of life is to accumulate things you can keep forever. You said earlier that you don't want to love your family because you know you will inevitably lose them. Do you realize what you are doing? You are experiencing preemptive grief. You are mourning people who are still sitting right next to you on the couch. You are letting the fear of the ending ruin the middle of the story. You can't keep any of it, and that is exactly why it is beautiful. A movie ends, but that doesn't mean it wasn't worth watching. A meal is consumed, but that doesn't mean it wasn't worth tasting. The guarantee of death is not a reason to cancel the trip. It is the very thing that gives the trip its value. The problems will always be there, but the problems are not your life. Your life is the space between the problems. So from now on, see the good, weigh it, hold it in your hands. Every moment you are not in agony is a quiet victory. You are not drowning, you are floating. Just open your eyes. Keep going.